Service for Dale Carr, age 67, is today at 2 o'clock from the chapel of Radley Smith Funeral Home, with Miranda Hurd and John Duncan officiating. Burial in the Grimes Chapel Cemetery. Mr. Carr died August 29th at Coleman Regional Medical Center, Radley Smith Funeral Home, Sylacauga, directing. Robert Lee Gaither, age 79, died August 31st. Funeral service today at 1 o'clock from Stockdale Baptist Church in Munford, with Kevin Jones officiating. The family will host visitation also at Stockdale Baptist 1 hour prior to the service. Interment in the adjoining cemetery. Mr. Gaither was a native and longtime resident of the Stockdale community and a member of the Stockdale Baptist Church Urshery Funeral Home, directing. Mr. Lewis Payne, age 69, died Wednesday in Birmingham. Visitation today at Armour's Memorial Funeral Home. Funeral service at 2. Graveside service at 2 at Armour's Memorial Garden, and that's going to be Saturday, and the visitation is going to be today over in Alexander City at Armour's Memorial Funeral Home for Mr. Lewis Payne, age 69. Tony Butts, better known as T.O., as he preferred to be called, passed away on August 30th. He was a native of Childersburg and resided in Knoxville, Tennessee. In lieu of flowers, you may consider a donation to the AlzheimersTennessee.org, that's ALZ Tennessee.org, or to the Calvary Baptist Church in Childersburg in T.O.'s memory. Curtis & Son Funeral Home, directing. Mrs. Dora Lee Junkins Edison, age 81, died August 30th. Graveside service Sunday at 2 o'clock from Elam Missionary Baptist Church in Kelladon. Armour's Memorial Funeral Home, directing. Funeral service for Mrs. Janie Owens of Alexander City. That service was, actually it's going to be on Wednesday, September the 8th at Calvary Baptist Church Cemetery. The actual visitation is at Armour's Memorial Funeral Home, with the service, graveside service at Calvary Baptist Church Cemetery, all on September the 8th. Mother Essie Brown, funeral service will be Saturday, September 4th at Liberty Christian Church in Harpersville. It'll be at 1 o'clock. Visitation is today at the funeral home from 1 until 7. Community Funeral Home, directing. And funeral service for Flora Stacy Vickers, age 86, of Hanover, will be Saturday at 1 o'clock from the chapel of Radley Smith Funeral Home. Reverend Joe Bridges officiating. Burial in the Evergreen Cemetery. Mrs. Vickers died September 1st at her residence. Visitation Saturday 11 to 1 at the funeral home. Radley Smith Funeral Home in Sylacauga in charge of the arrangements. This obituary report this morning, courtesy of Curtis & Son Funeral Home, the North Chapel on Highway 21 in Sylacauga, and the Childersburg Chapel on Highway 280 in Childersburg for pre-need funerals, burials, or cremation since 1975. It's Curtis & Son Funeral Home, Sylacauga, Childersburg.